In today's episode, we're going to talk about how to postpone foreclosure. This is a moneymaker. Hang around. In today's topic, how to postpone foreclosure, we're going to answer the following questions. Number one, when is the ability to postpone foreclosure important? Number two, what is a good reason to postpone foreclosure? That is, what will a judge accept? And number three, what is the very first step to postponing a foreclosure? And how often do you need to use these moves? You're going to use it more than you think. What we're about to talk about is one of my favorite moves. It is a very instrumental tool in my toolbox. Knowing how to postpone a foreclosure has been the reason why I could consummate many a transaction just from this one set of knowledge alone. When is the ability to postpone foreclosure important? Look, if you're in the creative real estate business for very long at all, you're going to figure out really fast that most of your motivated sellers are motivated because there is a clock ticking and time is running out. So it's important to be able to stop that clock in your favor after you get everything you need from your motivated seller. You kind of hold this knowledge to yourself. Tell your motivated seller that you know how to get this done and you can postpone this foreclosure, but you need X, Y, and Z, which is usually contract, price, and signature. Okay? At that point, once you get this, then you go and exercise what I'm fixing to teach you how to do and stop that foreclosure dead in its tracks, forcing the lender to completely start over again and re-up for another 30 or 45 or 60 days before they can even come close to an auction. So when it comes time to postpone a foreclosure, you're going to have to go in front of a judge. And you're going to have to state your case. And you're going to have a good reason for the judge to want to stop and reset the foreclosure. What's a good reason? I could shortcut this whole thing for you and say, look, if your attorney can't come up with a good reason on his own, then you need to get a new attorney. And that's where I'm going to leave it, because you don't really need to be in the middle of this. A good delegator won't be in the middle of this. Find a competent attorney. Tell them you need to file a TRO or a temporary restraining order to stop the lender from foreclosing. And if that attorney can't figure out how to do that, then you have the wrong guy. The cool thing about this whole rigmarole is no matter what the reason is, it doesn't matter. Just as long as the reason's good enough for the judge to stop it, because you're never going to have to prove the reason. The only reason you're trying to get the TRO or the temporary restraining order and stop the foreclosure that's fixing to happen in 24 hours or 36 hours is because you want to settle the whole deal by writing checks to people that are owed. So you'll never have to go and prove your case. So just make up anything to stop it, get it stopped, and then go solve the foreclosure really by paying people all the back payments and getting them paid off and becoming the owner of the property yourself with a free and clear slate. That's what's cool about it. The reason doesn't even really have to be legit. It just has to work because you're never going to have to prove it. So how often does this move need to happen? How often is stopping or postponing a foreclosure going to be needed? Well, it's going to be needed way more than you think. It doesn't matter what arena you're dealing in. If you're dealing in probate, you're going to need to know how to stop a foreclosure. If you're dealing in subject to, you're going to need to know how to file a TRO and stop foreclosure. If you're dealing in past due property taxes, you're going to need to know how to file a TRO. And the list goes on, from homeowners association past dues to whatever you want to name. Believe me, there'll be more and more times that you'll want to file a TRO. If nothing else, just to slow down, calm down, and take your time and get it right and not be under the gun. Here's one thing for sure. If you don't know how to file a TRO, then you're going to lose a lot of deals. Just bottom line. I have made so many deals because I could stop the ticking clock that was working against me and my seller. hundreds of deals because I could stop that clock and I knew how. I knew just the guy to call. I didn't have to tell him anything, and it just worked like a charm. And because I bought the time, I could buy the house. So I'm going to tell you the very first step, and I'm going to reiterate. But before we do that, let's take a second. Take a look at that like button. Go ahead and put your thumb on it just like that. And then take a look at the share button and put your thumb on it just like that. And mash on those things a lot for me, will you please? And of course, subscribe. And if you got any friends out there that need this information, but they just don't know we exist, why don't you tell them? So subscribe and let the world know for me, please. I would appreciate it very much. There is a ton of content coming your way. Now, the first step, it's redundant and it's simple, but it couldn't be said enough. Find the right attorney. Find the attorney that you just have to pick up the phone and say, here's the address, here's the information you need. I need a TRO filed now. And he'll say, yes, sir. And you won't even have to ask him how much because you'll have already agreed about all that, and it won't matter how much it is because the amount of money you're going to make from buying this house makes that look like chump change. So find that attorney. If you can't find one or you're having trouble finding one, here's my suggestion. Go to your local real estate club or group and find out who is the most foreclosure stopping, TOR finding mofo in the building, and get that guy. I want to give away the first 100 pages of my book, My Life in 1,000 Houses, Failing Forward to Financial Freedom. It's the first 100 pages of this book. It'll be downloaded to you digitally in an instant, and you can start learning how a dummy learned how to buy 100 houses a year. It's all about falling down and getting back up. It's about reinventing myself time after time and morphing to fit the situation and to change with the times. Check it out. Has over 250 five-star reviews on Amazon. You can get the first 100 pages free at 1000houses.com/free-stuff. Just click on the link that says first 100 pages free. All right, we're out of here. Follow me to the next episode. Here we go.